Good morning. In previous session, we have seen basic elements like identifier, data objects, and data types. What is identifier? Identifier is a group of characters which is used to name different design units, data objects, and data types. Like that. Okay. What is data object? Data object means which holds a value of a specified type. Okay. Four classes of data objects are available, named as constants, variables, signals, and files. Then coming to data types, it represents the type of data. That means integer data, character data, boolean data, etc. Also, we have seen the classification of data types. What are the predefined data types and how the user can define his own data type. Those all we have seen in previous lecture. And today's session introduces about the operators. What are the different operators? Predefined operators are available in the language. Let us see one by one. That is, the operators are logical operators, relational operators, shift operators, adding operators, multiplying operators, and miscellaneous operators. These are the different operators available in the language. Coming to logical operators, so we have different logic gates like logical operations like AND, OR, NAND, NOR, XOR, X not are the different logical operations. Okay. Then coming to this relational operations. Relational operations. The purpose of relational operations is uh, to compare, equality, greater than, less than, like that. Okay. So different relational operators are equal, this is equal, not equal, less than equal, greater than equal. Okay. So similarly, shift operators. Shift operators purpose is to shift desired bits towards left side, right side, like that. Okay. So different shift operators like SLL, that is shift left logical, shift left logical. SRL, SRL means shift right logical. SLA, shift left arithmetic, shift left arithmetic. SRA means shift right arithmetic. ROL is rotate left, rotate left. ROR is rotate right. Okay. So already in subject STLD or some other subjects also you observe these shifting operators. Let us see one example. Suppose here is one 8-bit number, and that the shift operator is SLL by 2 digits. SLL by 2 digits. SLL means shift left logical, shift left logical by 2 bits. That means shifting the 8-bit data towards left side direction by 2 bits. Okay. So this is the resultant data. Okay. This is the operation of shift left logical on binary number. Then coming to other operators, that is adding operators. Three different adding operators are there. Plus for addition, minus for subtraction, and append for concatenation or append operation. Okay, concatenation or append operations you can see like this. Suppose if you apply ampersand operator between three characters like this, C ampersand A ampersand T, means the result is CAT. Like that, concatenation is achieved through the operator ampersand. Okay. Then multiplying operators are asterisk, division, mod operation, and remainder operation. These are all comes under the multiplying operators. Then coming to some miscellaneous also, we observed those are absolute value. ABS gives the absolute value, and the double star represents the exponent. Okay, so like that, different operators are available in the language. Okay, so these are the basic elements: identifiers, data objects, data types, and operators. Okay, and now coming to subprograms, the topic is subprograms. Suppose in order to decrease the length of the program, if there is any repeated instructions in the program, those instructions are written separately by only once. Okay, that's why what happens, the length of the program can be reduced. So why we have to reduce the length of the program? What is the advantage? So when you reduce the number of instructions in the program, in the synthesis process, each and every statement or the programming instructions are converted into netlist, right? So the number of components in the netlist can be reduced if the program length is reduced. So that what is the advantage? The number of components are reduced means the complexity of the system is reduced. That is the purpose. Okay. Now coming to subprogram means the instructions which are repeatedly occur in the main program, they are written separately by once. So whenever you want to execute those instructions, just you are calling those instructions in the main program. Okay, like that the subprograms are written separately. Okay, there are two types of subprograms are there. One is called function, and another one is procedure. Two types of subprograms are functions, procedures. What is the difference? Major difference between these two is the function can return only one value. It returns only one value, whereas procedure returns either 0 or multiple values. Okay, the procedure returns nothing or many values it can return. Okay, that is the major difference. Okay, so let us see the syntax and examples for functions and procedures. Coming to functions, in case of function, okay, already it returns only one value, that is by the return statement in the calling program. Okay, in the syntax you can observe return statement. That return statement sends the single value to the calling program. Okay, and here in the function, whatever the parameters are there, their mode is only in. Okay, then let us see the syntax for the function. Start with the word function, then function name. Start with the word function followed by function name. Okay, function name means automatically it is a identifier. Then list of parameters. They are like this: signal names colon signal type. Okay, like that many signal names you can represent here, named as the parameters. Signal names and their data types. Okay, so on signal name, signal type, similarly signal name, signal type, like that number of parameters you can include here with their data types. Then return type is. Okay, return type also you need to mention. So generally this is the first line of the function syntax. This is the first line. After that the declarative part starts. Okay, like architecture body, here also we have two parts. Those are separated by the word begin. Before the begin, the area is referred as the declarative area. Before the begin, the area is declarative area, but after begin, the area is statement area. Statements. Okay. Here, all the statements are sequential statements. In case of function, after begin, the statements are referred as the sequential functions. Whereas in architecture body, those are concurrent statements. By the name concurrent, all those statements executed simultaneously. But here sequential statements means the execution is one after another, one after another. So finally return value, whatever the value you executed, that value has to be returned to the calling program. Okay. Then end function name. End the function by the word end, name of the function. Okay, so this is the syntax. The first line of this syntax is start with the word function, function name, parameter list as signal name, its data type, closing bracket, return type is. Then if you declarative declarations, any declarations, begin, then sequential statements, finally return, end function name. So this is the syntax for the function. Now let us see one example for the function. Okay, so the example is like function, start with the word function, name of the function is add bits. This is the function name. Function name is add bits. It is a user defined name. Okay, next here parameters list. The parameters here, two parameters A and B. Okay, signal names. In the syntax we have seen signal name colon data type, isn't it? Okay, so here A, B are the signal names, colon data type is bit. Then closing bracket, return type again bit. Is. This is the first line. Then second line is, that is declarations. Actually declarations, if there is any declarations, you have to declare before the begin. Okay, here one declaration is there, that is variable declaration. Variable declaration, already you know, variable result colon bit. It means the result is an object of class variable. The result is an object of class variable which holds what type of data? Bit type of data. Okay, then begin. After begin, the statements are sequentially executed statements. Okay, here the statement is result colon equal of A XOR B. Okay, so the operation here is, so we need some result on bits A and B. Okay, as per half adder, you know, the sum result is obtained by doing XOR operation on bits A and B. Okay, so therefore result colon equal A XOR B. So what is colon equal? Colon equal is assignment symbol for a variables. Okay, the for object of class variables, the assignment symbol is colon equal, then A XOR B. Okay, then so result calculation is over. After that return which result? The result value is returned. Okay, so to which calling program? Where is the calling statement? That is in the main program. It is actually sub program, right? So it sends the result to the main program. Okay, then end this function as end function name, like this. Clear? Like that you can write the functions. So here is another example which converts standard logic vector into integer. It converts standard logic vector, that means a binary number into equivalent integer. For that, one subprogram here is there. Let us see. So the program is process of A begin integer value less than equal convert integer of a, end process. So this is the this is a process statement. The process statement appears in the statement part of architecture. Statement part of architecture. That is the main program. Okay, architecture part is the main program. It includes a statement called process. Process on A. Process on A. Already you know process also has two parts separated by the word begin. Before begin, declarative part. After begin, statement part. Here what is the statement? Function call statement. This is called function calling statement. Okay. What function it calls? Convert to integer. The function name is convert to integer. Okay. So it sends a value of a to that function, to the subprogram function convert integer. That function converts that number, say binary number, into integer, then returns that value to the integer value. Okay, so the end result, that is integer result, is loaded in the integer value. Okay, end process. Let us see function for this one. Okay, function, how can you write function? With the word function. With the word function. What is the function name here? Convert integer. Convert to integer. What is the input for this convert? Which type of data you need to convert? Standard logic vector data. That is binary data. That is binary data. Therefore, the signal name here declared as x colon standard logic vector. X colon standard logic vector. Return type is, so input is standard logic vector or binary number. Output is integer. Why? Because we are converting standard logic vector number or binary number into integer, right? So return integer is, right? Then here one variable declaration is there. So variable name is result. That means the result is an object of class variable with integer data type. Okay, begin. So after begin, here I am taking for loop in the range of standard logic vector. Suppose if the standard logic vector, or x consists 4 bits, the range is 4 bits range. That means the loop executes 4 times. The loop executes the 4 times. Suppose if the x value is 8-bit number, the loop executes 8 times. Okay, so that is the this loop for loop statement. Okay, so you can see later the syntax for the for loop, and another statement is case, etc. In this example, let us see what happened here. Is it converts the standard logic number or binary number into integer. For I in x range loop. Okay, the range is depends on the type of binary number given. Okay, then result colon equal result into 2. That means result colon equal result into 2. Okay, so what is the initial value of result now? It is 0. It is 0 because the result is declared as an integer. It is under declaration is integer. So for the first value of the result is 0. Okay, then case x of I is 0. X of I is, suppose x of I means, suppose 0th bit. If the 0th bit of x and 0 position, 0 position bit of x is, that we are going to check. When 0, suppose if it is 0, don't do anything. Null means don't do anything. Suppose if it is 1, result equal to result plus 1. Result equal to result plus 1. When others, if the value is not 0, not 1, in that case when others, null. Null means don't do anything. Okay, end case. So the case statement is ended here. So the case statement is similar to a switch statement in the C language. It is similar to switch statement in the C language. Okay, so you just take a example binary number and apply this for loop statement. Check out whether it converts standard logic vector number, that is binary number, into integer or not. Okay, so after doing some iterations, it returns the value, it returns the resultant value, that is result, to the main program, okay, or calling program. Okay. Then end function name. Okay, so like that you can write a program using functions to convert standard logic vector into integer, right, or binary number into integer. Let us see another okay, this is the syntax for the function calling program. Syntax for the function calling function call, that is function name followed by list of actual parameters. Function name of the function you need to use, and followed by list of parameters. Okay, for example, sum less than equal add bits of x comma y. Okay, this is the function name. It passes two values, x and y. Okay, right. Then another subprogram is procedure. Already you know, it returns nothing or many values it returns. Okay, so the syntax of the procedure is similar to function. It start with the procedure word. Okay, it start with the word procedure, then procedure name, followed by parameters list. In case of function, the parameters list mode is only in. But in case of procedures, it may be in or out. Okay, then declarations. If you want to do any declarations, you can do here. Then begin. After begin, statement part. Here also all the statements are sequential statements. All the sequential statements you can use here. Okay, what are the sequential statements and what are the concurrent statements, you can see in the further classes. Okay, then end procedure name. Procedure name is the optional one. Okay, so let us see one example for this parameter, for this procedure. Okay, so this is the example for the procedure. Here the process of AB enable begin, add bits of AB enable some carry. This is a procedure call statement. Procedure name is add bits. Then these are the actual parameters. End process. This is a process statement in the mainly architecture body. In the architecture body includes a process statement. The process statement here includes a procedure call statement. Okay. Now let us see how to declare a procedure for this. Start with the word procedure, and procedure name is add bits, followed by x comma y comma enable. These three are the inputs in standard logic. Okay, what is standard logic? It is a predefined data type. X, y, enable 1 are the inputs of data type standard logic. Okay, then temp sum, temp carry are the outputs also in the data type standard logic. Okay, then begin. After begin, here one of the sequential statement used, that is if enable enable 1 equal to 1, then temp sum equal to x XOR y, temp carry equal to x and y. Okay, that is sum operation and carry operation we are doing, and the enable value is 1. Else, that means if enable is 0, the temp sum equal to 0, temp carry also equal to 0. Nothing, that means it can't do anything. Okay, 0 value is assigned to both sum and carry. If enable is 1, then only it do addition operation. Addition operation means it gives sum and carry. Okay, then end if, actually here you have to write the end if, then end procedure, end if and end procedure. So like that you can write a procedural program as a subprogram in the main programs, so that the length of the main program can be reduced, so that the complexity of digital system can be reduced. Okay, so that is about the subprograms. Clear? We have two types of subprograms. One is function and another one is procedure. The difference between these two is the function can return only one value, whereas in procedure it returns nothing or many values it can return. Okay, so clearly observe the syntaxes of functions and procedures. You practice, see the results, and if you have any doubts, already I have given the phone number and mail ID. If you have any doubts, take the clarity from me, right?